going on, guys? Right now I'm gonna make my week 7 picks. We're gonna run down the line. We have a few teams on a bye, but we're just gonna go through the picks. Thursday night game to start us off: Bears at Lambeau facing the Packers. Aaron Rodgers has just not looked like himself at all. Not the usual MVP candidate type of year that he usually has. This year the offense is totally out of sync. Eddie Lacy's injured for an extended period of time. Looks like he's gonna be out a couple of weeks now. But I do like the Bears, what they're doing on offense. I like Brian Hoyer. I'm a huge Jordan Howard fan. But I'm going to use the Packers because the Bears' defense is terrible. All right, next we got Rams, Giants. This is going to count as a home game for the Rams, but it's in London. So we got the Giants. I'm going to take the Giants in this one. Giants' defense has played a little bit better lately. Rams' defense is legit, but I am not a Casey Keenum fan at all. And Todd Gurley, it's probably the biggest bust of the year so far. Even more so than Aaron Rodgers. He's averaging, I think it's like under three yards per carry. It's just terrible. I'm going to take the Giants in that. All the Odell stuff, he's a distraction. I don't think he's a distraction. If he's putting up 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, just let him celebrate. Who cares? Next up, we got Saints at Arrowhead facing the Chiefs. I'm going to take the Chiefs in a surprisingly close game because the Saints offense it's for real. Drew Brees is going off this year. But I do like what they have in the Chiefs' backfield. Spencer Ware is a big find by the Chiefs. And also Jamal Charles coming back. They're going to incorporate him a little bit more. So I'm going to take the Chiefs because their defense is going to keep the Saints' offense in check, and I like what they got on offense. Although I'm not a total Alex Smith fan, I'm going to take the Chiefs. Next up, we got Colts and Tennessee. I'm going to take Tennessee in this one. It's going to be a close matchup. It's not a very good game. Really, I don't really like either of these teams. I believe the Colts dropped to 2-4 after the Sunday night game. They're either 2-4 and 3-3. I think they're 2-4. Titans are 3-3. I'm gonna take the Titans just because I like DeMarco Murray and he's gonna go off. And the Colts' offensive line is just terrible. And the Titans' defense has looked a little bit better this year, so I'm going Titans. Next up, we got Vikings at Philadelphia. Carson Wentz started off blazing hot. He went, I think it was 3 games without a pick, maybe 4. But the Vikings defense is just for real. It's the best defense in the league. I think it's undisputed, the best defense in the league. So they're going to give Carson Wentz some problems and take the win. Next up, we got Browns at Cincinnati. I'm going to give the Bengals the win here, not because I really like the Bengals in this game. I mean, they're 2-4. They've been a big disappointment. They look like pretenders this year. But the Browns, they could actually go 0-16. That's how terrible this team is. Next up, we got Redskins at Lions in a close matchup. Lions are 3-3. Redskins are 4-2. They've won 4 straight. I think the Lions, if I'm correct, the Lions have won 3 straight too. They started out 0-3. Now they're 3-3, maybe. But I know they're 3-3, and they're actually looking a little bit better. Matt Stafford's been putting up some nice numbers, but I'm gonna go Redskins here because I really like Matt Jones, and their defense has been playing all right. Next up, we got Raiders at Jacksonville. Jacksonville has just been a huge disappointment. I mean, not everyone had huge expectations, but people did expect them to play pretty well. It looked like they were having a nice little bounce-back year. They had a great draft, good offseason, got Malik Jackson. Their defense has just been looking the same as always. And their offense, Blake Bortles has been looking terrible. Allen Robinson's being disappointing. In the backfield, they have no one in their backfield they're stepping up, so I'm going to take the Raiders in that one. Raiders are coming off a tough loss, but they're looking pretty good. Next up, we got Bills at Dolphins. Bills are a very hot team. Dolphins are a little hot as well. They just pulled off a huge upset against the Steelers. I don't know how that happened. But I'm going to take the Bills because LaShawn McCoy is going to have, he's going to put up outrageous numbers. He's going to have 150 yards, at least a touchdown, if not 2. And then they are going to, I'm not going to Tyrod Taylor as well this year, so I'm going to take the Bills here to go to 5-2, so a solid start for them. Next, we got Ravens.
So right off the bat, the Bears and the Packers in Lambeau Field. Packers have been struggling lately. Aaron Rodgers hasn't been as good as he could have been. I think the Packers are going to win this game. The Bears just don't have enough firepower. They're 1-5. Brian Hoyer has been okay, but not anything close to what Aaron Rodgers can be. Next, we have up early 9:30 in London, Giants versus Rams. I'm not sure about really either team. I don't know what they really are about. The Giants, with Odell, I think they'll have a much better game than a lot of people think. And I still think the Giants will beat the Rams, even though some people are favoring the Rams to win that game. Next is the Saints taking on the Chiefs in Arrowhead Field. Yeah, I got the Chiefs. The Chiefs just look really good on defense right now. They shut down the Raiders last week, who had a pretty good offense the rest of the season. And the Saints just aren't ready to take that next step. So I got the Chiefs. Colts and Titans in Nashville. Both teams just kind of underwhelming. With Titans 3-3, I guess it's all right, but they haven't really played anybody. I like the Colts to win this game, even though I like the rushing attack from Tennessee. I think it's been really good, but I think the Colts just have the team put together to win this kind of game. Next is Vikings at Eagles in Philadelphia. Eagles started out nice. They lost their last two, I believe, to Detroit, and now who was it? Redskins. This is Washington. I like the Vikings to stay undefeated. Sam Bradford, Stephon Diggs, and that defense. I really like the Vikings. I think they'll win this game pretty easily. Browns-Bengals, that's not even really a contest. Bengals have been underwhelming, but the Browns are just the Browns. There's nothing they're going to do. I got the Bengals winning this one pretty easily at home. Redskins-Lions at Ford Field. I think this one could be tricky. The Lions are playing a little bit better than people think. They're currently sitting at 500. Redskins, they've won 4 straight. So I think maybe Lions could pull off the upset here, but I'm going to go with the Redskins just because I think their defense is a little bit better than the Lions will be. Raiders and Jaguars, this game is probably the most boring game the entire day. This game is awful. Jaguars have been really underwhelming. Raiders a bit overwhelming. They've done pretty well so far with only 2 losses. I like the Raiders in this game. I think their offense is better. I think their defense is going to make enough stops to put Jacksonville off the field. Bills-Dolphins in Miami. Bills have been hot recently. Dolphins not so much, despite their win over Pittsburgh. I like the Bills to win this game. Offense is too good. LaShawn McCoy, Tyrod Taylor, and the defense has played well the last couple of weeks. Ravens and Jets. Jets struggling a lot this year. 1-5. Ravens sitting at 3-3. They start out undefeated and then they've lost all the rest of the games. I'm actually going to take the Jets in this one. I just think something's got to give. They're starting Geno Smith now at quarterback. Jets are going to make enough plays to beat the Ravens at home. Buccaneers and 49ers. 49ers have just been awful this year. There's nothing else to say about that. I got the 49ers losing this game, and it won't even be close. Buccaneers by at least 20. Chargers and Falcons in the Georgia Dome. Chargers, they're coming off their win versus Denver. Falcons coming off their second loss of the season against Seattle. I like the Falcons to win this game, but I think it'll be very high scoring, not a lot of defense played. Patriots and Steelers, what I think is the game of the week in Pittsburgh. 4:25 the game. Man, it's tough to pick this game, but I think the Patriots are going to win the game. I think Tom Brady's just going to tear up the rest of this season. Steelers are going to make it close. I think it'll be a high-scoring kind of game, even though a lot of people think it'll be low-scoring. I think it'll be high-scoring, but very close. Seahawks-Cardinals, a Sunday night football game. Cardinals have played okay, I guess, but I mean, they've made a lot of mistakes. They just won versus the Jets on Monday Night Football. Seahawks are hot right now. I like the Seahawks to win the game on the road. And then the Monday night matchup, the Houston Texans versus the Denver Broncos. The Broncos trending downwards right now after losses to Atlanta and San Diego. So I think Texans are going to catch them in the right time. But I still think the Broncos are going to win because I think Gary Kubiak being back, it's going to make enough to change the outcome.